Good morning, student. We are studying now Gynandromorphus. It is the topic which includes in chromosomal theory of sex determination. Morgan and Breach, 1990, used the chromosomal theory of sex determination to explain of Gynandromorphus, which are usually female on one side and male on the other side. Gynandromorphs occur occasionally in many organisms that normally produces female and male. For this purpose, different theories have been put forth for how Gynandromorphus arises. In Drosophila, the zygote that have originally two X chromosome, which is going to develop as a female. Misdivision of a chromosomes may be lost in some of the cell during cleavage of the fertilized egg. The body part formed by the descendant of the cell that have single X chromosome left are the male, whereas the cell that keep their two X gives rise to female part of the Gynandromorphus. Gynandromorphous genes may be particularly spectacular in appearance. So, the male portion of body may have a eye, body color, bristle and other the character that differ sharply from this in the female portion. In a certain organisms such as a fruit fly, moth, bees and etc., a typical chromosomal behavior is observed which results in some sexual mosaic called Gynandromorphous, or it is also called as the gynander. Friends, you listen carefully. This topic for the important for examination. Always question are asked on this topic. That is, it is for short note also, and compulsory one MCQ asked on this topic. So you listen carefully. In such a mosaic form, one part of body shows female characteristic while other part express those of the male. The male and female parts are clearly demarked as per their sexual dimorphic character. You know that what is meant by the sexual dimorphism. The term Gynandromorphous is derived from Greek word gyn means woman, ander means man and morphe means form. So this is the combination of these three words, gyn plus ander plus morphe. Gyn means woman, ander means man and morphe means form or structure. Combination of these three called as the Gynandromorph. See this picture. This is insect Drosophila, male or female showing different characteristic. Female is larger than male, having a long wing. The gynander rarely occur in nature and these are mostly sterile in nature. This is about Gynandromorphus. After that, we discuss who discovered Gynandromorphus. Gynandromorphus were first discovered in Drosophila by the scientists Stuart and Morgan and Breach. These are the three scientists were first discovered were first observed in Drosophila. Later on, it was also found in silk moth and such a Gynandromorphus discovered by Goldsmith and Katsuki. In moth, male usually have a large beautiful color wing and female have a small stumped wing. Gynander in moth shows the wing pattern of the male on one side and the female like on the other side. There are three types of Gynandromorphus. Such a Gynandromorphus can be classified into the following type on the basis of sex tissue the gynander have. First one is that bilateral Gynandromorphus. Second one, anterior-posterior Gynandromorphus. And third one is sex piebals. Here piebals means spotted structure. So these are the three types which are based on the sex tissue formation. After that, we study first point, bilateral Gynandromorphus. In this type, remember that student, bilateral, you know that the lateral side of the animal. In this type, one half part of the body, either right or left, shows characteristic of the male and the other half with the female character. Some Gynandromorphs in Drosophila are bilateral intersex with male color pattern, body shape and sex comb. These are the three characteristics. First one is color pattern, body shape and sex comb. What is meant by sex comb? That is more bristle hairy projection on the first legs on one half of the body and female characteristic on the other half of the body. So both male or female gonads and genitalia are sometimes present. Such a sharp borderline between male and female part in an insect called as the Gynandromorphus. Are you getting me? That is half part showing the female character, half part of body showing the male characteristic. So here that insect gynander is due to the genotype it contains, that is AAXX for female, AAX0 for male. This is the first type. That is you observe the diagram of bilateral Gynandromorphus. That part showing the half part of female and half part of male. Male showing the vestigial wing and female showing the normal wing. It is a dark demarcation of male or female. One borderline is showing that totally different characteristic of male or female characters. That form we are called as the mosaic form. Such a type of Gynandromorphus which is observed in Drosophila, that type we are called as the bilateral Gynandromorphus. After that, second type, anterior posterior Gynandromorphus. See here, this is the picture of an anterior posterior Gynandromorphus in beetle Lucanus cervus. Such a form are less common than the bilateral gynanders. In this type, the anterior part of the body shows the characters of the male or female sex, and the posterior part shows the characters of opposite sex. Thus, the individual with male heads and female abdomen, or vice versa. It is observed in the beetle Lucanus and in some parasitic wasp, that is in Hybrobranchon. Such a type of Gynandromorphus you observe in figure number 2. There is a characteristic of male or female combination seen. Anterior part of body showing the male characteristic and posterior part of the body showing the female characteristic. Such a type of demarcation which is present whether it is anterior or posterior. So here you observe diagram carefully, you should understand that. So this is the second type of Gynandromorphus called as the antero-posterior Gynandromorphus. Remember that when anterior region of the body has the characteristic of one sex and the posterior half part of the body showing the other sex. Are you getting me? Now we are going to third type. We are going to study the third part, that is the sex piebald. In such a type of Gynandromorphus, there is a combination of both characteristics are observed. Such a kinds of Gynandromorphus are very rare. Here, body of a male and female may not be showing arrangement of a part like those of bilateral and antero-posterior gynander. But the body consists of female tissue having spots or patches of male tissue scattered irregularly or vice versa. However, such small regions are difficult to detect. It is in this type of Gynandromorphus is showing a various different varieties. So piebald means is the scattering. There is no demarcation between male or female, but here combination of both characteristics are produced at a time. So in sex piebald, when female sex has scattered spots on the male tissue in an irregular manner, it is called as the sex piebald. So we discuss here what is meant by the Gynandromorphus, that is definition of a Gynandromorphus. Second one is the discovery about the Gynandromorphus and the types of Gynandromorphus. In type there are three types are there. First one is the bilateral Gynandromorphus and second one is the antero-posterior Gynandromorphus and third one is the sex piebald Gynandromorphus. Remember that in Drosophila we observe the bilateral Gynandromorphus and also some moths also showing the bilateral Gynandromorphus, but some beetles showing the antero-posterior type of Gynandromorphus. The type of Gynandromorphus are created in insect. Why they are created here? That is the big question. So, what are the causes of information of a gynanders is essential to study. So, after that type of Gynandromorphus, we are going to study causes of formation of a gynander. Thank you friends.